Right. Well, I call the meeting of the United We Learn Teaching Learning Committee to order. Uh, I'll do the roll call, so please respond. Holly Bloodworth here. Justin Pay.
Here.
Julie Pyle.
Julie Pyle, present.
Lee Todd.
Lee Todd here.
Lou Young.
Lou Young here.
Harper Blake. And Aaron Thompson. All right. Well, we're excited to be learning today about the We Lead Computer Science report and the update on computer science. So we have the We Lead Computer Science Chief Executive Officer, Alicia Sells. She's the KDE. We also have the KDE Chief Academic Officer, Mickey Ray Marinelli, and the KDE K-12 Computer Science Lead, Sean Jackson, to present the update. So I will turn it over to you guys.
Thank you so much, Chair and members of the board. I feel especially honored. This is the first ever We Lead Computer Science report that we're able to bring forward today. And this school is providing just exciting work-based learning that's supporting the development not only of computer sciences, but career exploration in terms of technology. And so just excited to have Alicia Sells. As mentioned, she is the Chief Executive Officer, and she has built out just the most recent data. And this presentation captures a lot of their efforts and work from 2024, 2025. And then, as noted, Dr. Sean Jackson will be with us at the end of that presentation to give you more of a statewide perspective on what's happening around computer science education in Kentucky. So, Alicia, I will turn it over to you.
Hello, thank you so much, Madam Chair and members of the board and other folks who are on the call. It's good to see some old friends and faces today, and I'm honored to be here. First of all, I just want to thank you for letting me reschedule. I had the flu when I was supposed to see you back in December, and so I really greatly appreciate the opportunity to be with you today. So if I understand, I'm to prompt verbally for advancing the slides. So I'd like to ask if we could go back to the first slide and show the video that I have to share with you.
We have one student in particular. We kept looking for opportunities for him, and it just wasn't happening. But he's found his place now. He's actually doing a paid internship through Procter & Gamble. And in Louisa, Kentucky, that wasn't possible before this.
I learned about We Lead CS from my school. They helped me get job opportunities and this internship. And I just really have liked this.
Ryder, we first met through a program called Jumpstart. So we worked with Alicia and her team to identify a couple of candidates, and Ryder was there. He was asking questions, he was diligent, he was respectful. He was coming in with good ideas, right? Sometimes we put the students into smaller groups, right? He was collaborating in his groups. So he was showing us all the base things that we want to someone who we think will then take advantage of the summer experience.
Whenever I was little, I got locked out of my iPad and stuff, and I didn't know what to do, but then I just started getting into the software system, and then I hacked my way back into it.
The fact that we have so many young students coming in talking about, I was building my own PC, or I took my dad's computer and deconstructed it and all of that. These are stories we hear a lot, so it's very much in line with the type of person we're looking to hire, right? Someone who is curious, right? Someone who wants to test the limits of their knowledge and understand how things work together.
It's been great. I made a lot of friends while I'm here. I just love technology and stuff, and I hope that one day I can become like cybersecurity or something to help people if they get locked out or something, or like just protecting like a firewall or something. So you got to be a hacker to stop the hacker. I like We Lead CS because I like to learn virtual. I'm at home and stuff, and that also just gives me confidence because it's in my area, and I just like to be close to my friends and family.
We're thrilled that kids can find the things that they want to do, because that's what teaching and learning is all about, is finding your place in the world.
I just knew I was going to be good and stuff at what I was doing. It was just something I signed up for, and I'm glad that I did.
So I will point out that the person who managed that hacking is Commissioner Fletcher. So when I showed him this video, he got a kick out of that. Ryder has indeed found his place. And if we could advance to the next slide, I'll tell you how this all came to be. So we started in 2000 at iLead Academy trying to figure out how we expand our own students' access to computer science education. None of the 5 districts that send students to iLead had a computer science program. And iLead is a very different learning environment. It's not for every student. And so we proposed to the U.S. Department of Education in their Rural Tech project that we have our teacher teach virtually. It was before COVID, so I don't know what we were thinking or how we thought we would do that, but that was our proposal. And they named that idea one of the 5 most innovative ideas in the country to expand rural students' access to computer science education. We had several members of the General Assembly on our advisory board and Dr. Jackson, who is on the call with us today. And in 2022, the General Assembly passed legislation establishing We Lead CS as Kentucky's statewide virtual computer science career academy. And the call was for us to increase Kentucky's competitiveness in the technology and employment in computing employment sectors, which is now every sector of the economy, expand access for students, and prepare students for tech careers. If we could advance to the next slide, please. So you heard what Katie from Lawrence County had to say. We have had students in We Lead CS now for 2 years. We're entering our 2nd year. The General Assembly appropriated $3 million for us to carry out the mission that they set forward for us in the statute in this last legislative session. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit today based on our statutory requirement to report to the state board and to the General Assembly on our progress. So these are just a few quotes that I won't read for you, but you can just read for yourself. We are bringing new opportunities to students in districts across the state. And districts are responding very well to that, which you'll see from our growth. If we could advance to the next slide, please. So these are our current partners that we're teaching during this school year. We have already added 10 new partners for the next school year. So we are growing again very rapidly. We grew very quickly. If we could advance to the next slide, please. In 2024, we had 68 students in 5 schools. In 25-26, this current school year, we have 220 students in 26 schools. 2 of those schools are middle schools. So we have students enrolled in dual credit. In 24-25, there were 59. Those students earned 190 hours of college credit or 59 course credits. We had an 87% pass rate on the computer programming and program assessments that they took. These data points are, by the way, established in statute for We Lead CS of things that we must track throughout the year and report to both you and to the General Assembly. If we could advance to the next slide, please. We really feel our secret sauce is work-based learning and interaction with employers. We are able to do some incredibly exciting things to connect students with employers in a virtual environment. So we focus very, very diligently on industry certifications, as that relates back, of course, to assessment and accountability for districts and students. We had in our first year 26 industry certifications earned. Collaborating with Dr. Jackson and his team and their industry certification program is a critically important part of what we do. Every student had 2 opportunities to job shadow virtually, and that involves employers coming on and showing students what they do and talking about what they do so they can explore careers. Every student had a mock job interview experience, a prep workshop, and interviews, and got one-to-one feedback. And then we also offer opportunities for student organizations, particularly through the technology student organization or association, which is aligned to the CTE computer science pathways. If we could expand or extend to the next one. Thank you. One of the things that we've learned from employers is we talk to them about how students are the most qualified applicants in the entry-level tech workforce pipeline, is that students need to know how to collaborate with one another in GitHub on code. When they first talked to me about that, I had to Google GitHub, so don't feel bad if you don't know what that is. Think LinkedIn for coders. That's how they collaborate on Git and coding projects. We also focus on project management, and that is a very critical skill in terms of Agile project management, Scrum development that employers want to see on applicants' resume. We provide college and career coaching, and then the students also have an opportunity in our dual credit classes to get feedback from employers on their challenge defense projects. Speaking of vibrant learning opportunities and United We Learn. If we could advance to the next slide, please. Students in our program can earn up to 23 hours of college credit. We have 2 paid virtual internship programs through We Lead CS, Jumpstart 1.0 and Jumpstart 2.0. 1.0 is for our entry-level students who've just started with the program. They can work, they get paid 15 hours, $15 an hour for 6 hours a week during the summer to begin their work-based learning and career exploration experience. We have 30 students right now from all over the state in Jumpstart 2.0, and we're focusing in much more closely with those students on preparation to apply for virtual internships, like Ryder described, as we work with our employer advisory board to expand those opportunities. So we're working to do whatever we can to make students competitive in the workforce. We could advance to the next slide, please. As I mentioned, we have an employer advisory board. That board just met last week. As a matter of fact, we're working on profiles of the most qualified applicants in our 5 pathways. And then we also have been working with 3 chambers of commerce, Allen County, Commerce, Lexington, and Northern Kentucky, as part of a microgrant program we did in our first year, asking those chambers to identify for us who among their membership is hiring tech talent, what skills they need, and putting those employers in contact with our students through those programs that I just explained to you. If you could advance to the next slide, please. So in the next year, and my colleague, Dr. Kelly Ransdell, is on the call, I believe, with me. I can't see her on here, but Dr. Ransdell just joined us as We Lead CS's Chief Operating Officer, and her first task was to develop our master schedule and pathway overview for next year. So you can go to weleadcs.org on our scheduling page and see all of the things that we'll offer. Next year, we'll have a cybersecurity pathway, a data science pathway. We'll offer an intro to artificial intelligence course. We're offering network security, network administration. And so we'll have 5 pathways with 11 unique computer science courses. So as you start to look at that work, you can really see that we are carrying out that mission the General Assembly set forth for us to expand access, because there are a lot of students in these small rural districts that would not have access to these courses otherwise. We also work with districts if they say have AP computer science principles, how those students might have additional opportunities to carry forward and continue their studies. So we are doing all that we can to expand those opportunities and make all of our pathways are aligned with the KBE, OCTE pathway plans and the industry certs and dual credit. If we could advance to the next slide, please. So in 24-25, we're operating a $3 million appropriation from the General Assembly. We did request $5 million in this next cycle. I don't know that we'll actually need $5 million to operate it. A lot of what we're doing right now is working on scheduling and adding districts. And I'm in constant communication with the General Assembly about what that looks like. The House has included $3 million in the budget as a placeholder, with the understanding that I'm to report back to them in March to tell them what our staffing needs are for the next year. So it will be somewhere between, I would say, $3 and $4 million it would be our next appropriation. Okay, so that's gives you just an overview of our program. It has been such a pleasure to work with Mickey and her team and Marty Park and the folks at OET, and Dr. Sean Jackson has been such a great advocate of this as we talk constantly about how we can continue to expand opportunities, and we also work closely with OCTE. So we're happy to provide any additional information that you might like to have about student progress, student opinions about what it's like to learn virtually. In this world, we survey the students several times throughout the year, and you can find a lot more information about us on our website. So that's my presentation for today. If Dr. Jackson wants to add to that.
Yeah, I can't emphasize enough how We Lead CS is filling in the gaps for computer science learning in the state of Kentucky. We've had a lot of districts provide foundational learning in computer science for many years, but proofing out and making sure that a pathway exists in those school districts, that's the secret sauce. That's what We Lead CS is really trying to do. Is if you don't have anything, We Lead CS can help you. If you need to fill out and finish a pathway, We Lead CS can also help you. So it's a key part of the overall strategy for computer science in Kentucky. And I'll just say that the story of computer science in Kentucky continues to have some success. When compared to a national conversation, Kentucky is 15% above the national average in high schools offering computer science. You know, we need to capitalize on that. Can we do better? Of course we can. We can always get better. We know we can always improve. But I think it was in that video, it really was crucial to focus on the word curiosity. That's the key to educating and engaging students in all types of vibrant learning experiences. And we really find that curiosity in computer science courses where students are like, I don't know what I don't know about computer science. And then you start to educate them and move them along through the process. And that mission to provide that curiosity, that love of learning, that mission is supported by our Office of Teaching and Learning, our Office of Career and Technical Education, and of course our Office of Education Technology. The CSIT Academy, funded by OET, provides relevant computer science industry certifications, AP exams, and professional learning to all schools in Kentucky. Just engage with us. We can figure out what we can do to help you along your computer science journey or see where we can start. And I would just like to highlight, I know Alicia mentioned middle school computer science. That is our highest enrollment course in the state of Kentucky right now. Our middle school computer science, excuse me, middle school computer science course code last year had 4,800 students enrolled. That's really, really awesome because that shows that our high schools are interested in providing that pipeline approach to make sure that students enter high school with a good run and go to engage in these dual credit courses or AP courses with that foundational knowledge that we're talking about. And another point of success that I would like to point out is kind of the innovative approach that Kentucky has taken. Unlike other states, we've taken the approach with our certifications for computer science for the approval for teaching computer science course code. So that code allows any teacher with any base certification to engage and teach computer science. And currently, or as of last year, 104 teachers in the state of Kentucky used that mechanism to teach computer science to our students. And so that flexibility, that innovative thinking, and outside the box thinking, it's something that we do a lot in the state of Kentucky when it comes to education to try to improve the outcomes for our students, because that's the only reason that we're here, is make sure that students have, for lack of a better, phrase, a good run and go at life. And it doesn't matter if they're going to continue on into the collegiate realm or go straight into an industry. Foundational knowledge is key to making sure that those students have that chance and that opportunity to engage in high quality learning and productive thinking when it comes to computer science. And so I'll just open it for questions. I know there's a lot of questions probably involving how is artificial intelligence going to be involved? How are we going to make sure that our students are still learning relevant information? But really appreciate We Lead CS's leadership in this space and advocacy.
Yes,
I see hands up. Commissioner, is that you?
Oh.
Yes, thank you so much, and thank you, Chair Bloodworth, too. Just a couple of comments. My first comment is I'm a firm believer that every single kid has a talent or a gift. And it's a matter of finding the opportunity for that child to have that talent displayed, to have that gift displayed. And Ryder is a perfect example of this. Ryder is someone that has a gift when it comes to this, and he works hard, and he does a lot of good work. And matter of fact, had the opportunity to do the internship with Procter and Gamble. And then the other comment that I have is, We Lead CS and is an example of how we need to provide opportunities for everyone. This is an opportunity that wouldn't have happened in Lawrence County. I think there were just a few number of students, maybe 3 or 4 students when it started, went into 13. Now I think up to around 25 students that are part of a pathway that would not have had the opportunity without that. I like to applaud Superintendent Webb for continuing the work here, and two, just expanding the program. She is a great champion for that. So again, I can't tell you how it warms my heart to see Ryder as a part of this. Just knowing his background and what he's done and where he's been.
Yeah, and he's continued this year to just be such a remarkable student. And Superintendent Webb and I talk about that a lot. There's, Ryder is one of those kids where they were really struggling, and this, Commissioner, to find a place for him. And so one of the things I didn't mention in my presentation that I'll add is that districts pay a per student seat fee to have students enrolled in We Lead CS. So it's $500 per student for a year-long course, $250 per student for a semester-based course. We offer multiple discounts for early action to help reduce that cost for districts. But one of the things that we've learned from the many small rural districts that we have involved is there is no barrier for enrollment in terms of having to enroll a specific number. So a couple of our districts, Hancock County is a great example, has one student. They had a student interested, and they wanted to provide that opportunity for the student. And we do make that possible. And I think that's such an important part of the model that we have, is that the General Assembly subsidizes that. In our work with the department to create We Lead CS, there was a pretty strong feeling that districts have some skin in the game, some investment in the program. Just had a conversation with Senator Givens today about, as federal funding has dried up for districts or has been taken away from districts, we're finding that to be a little bit of a barrier threshold. And so we want to make sure that we keep talking with the General Assembly about that as we plan for moving forward in ways that we might be able to address that and help districts overcome it. It's become more of a question from districts now than it was 2 years ago when we started. And so that's something we're very mindful of. But small rural districts have been so welcoming of the opportunity to add up to 5 career pathways for their students without having to hire a teacher to do that, and to staff the program and to equip it. So that has really been an important part of why I think we've grown as much as we have in terms of the number of districts that we have interested in participating. Is it really is an important thing for small districts to be able to provide something that they would not have otherwise been able to provide.
No, I think that's very well said. And I just like to tack on, I'm a huge proponent, because I saw it in my own computer science classroom, of the students who need to find a place in the school community. And I think that's something that computer science offers. All of our career and technical education programs offer that. And when you look at some of the demographic information around our enrollment in computer science, 54% of our students in computer science last year were identified as economically disadvantaged, and 12% were students with some sort of identified IEP. And so I think those are really strong numbers compared to the statewide averages. I think we have 13% of our students statewide have an IEP of some type. And so finding their place in that school community goes a long way to ensuring that future success. And another thing that I'll say that We Lead CS does a great job of is that interaction with the industry community, making sure that students can see themselves doing those same types of jobs that they're learning about. They can put themselves in an internship type situation or into some type of job shadowing situation so that they can see themselves, hey, I could do this job. And so that confidence and that success and being a virtual provider of this program, that just also speaks to the strength and reliability of our KETS network that we provide to all school districts, because the students have that opportunity to be in a school with high quality connectivity, that they can make sure that they engage with dual credit providers or with the teachers at We Lead CS to make sure that they can engage in this curriculum effectively.
Dr. Todd put his hand up, and then Ms. Powell.
Yeah, just a question. Where's your instruction come from? Are they classroom teachers? Are they employees of yours that teach? And then also, how does this fit into a student's everyday class? Do they meet after class or do they meet in summertime? I don't get that.
All right. So the teachers are employees of We Lead CS. They're all Kentucky certified teachers. They're all in Kentucky. They're all over Kentucky. So we currently have 8 different folks who are teaching in this school year. And we have worked with KCTCS to make sure that the teachers that teach dual credit are approved in each of the individual colleges where we teach dual credit. In terms of their schedule, We Lead CS comes in as one of the parts of their class day. So if a student has 6 classes a day, we're one of those 6, and they go to the library or the media center, wherever the school district can find a space for them in order to have instruction during the day. And so it is integrated into their school program. And it is a class for them in their school day, just like any other class that they take.
Dr. Todd, that picture just happens to be in the library of Lawrence County High School there that you see. So
I see.
Very familiar area there.
Yeah. So we try to go on now. It's getting more challenging as we get bigger, but we also go on site to do recruitment and activities with students. So I'm sure that's what Sarah is doing here as a part of that. But it is integrated into their school day. So essentially that per student seat fee is a fee for us to teach their student. And each district enters into a contract with us on an annual basis for us to provide instruction to their students. We've worked with the department. Our grading is in Infinite Campus, so we're integrated into that as best we can be. And then we also work with the districts to report all of the measures on college or post-secondary readiness that track back to their assessment. So one of the things that we learned about at iLead is it is difficult to get educators to think about students leaving the building and going somewhere else and leaving their home high school for whatever reason. These students don't go anywhere. They just stay there in their home high school, and this is just a regular part of their day. They also have access to the teachers for tutoring and coaching support. That's a big question that comes from us from districts is, do they have to have a subject matter expert to support the students? And they do not.
Thank you. I think it's a wonderful way to reach out to some communities that can't afford to have a computer science teacher on campus for sure. So
yes,
good job.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. Ms. Powell?
Yeah, excellent. I agree with Dr. Todd. I mean, to be able to have students have access to something they wouldn't normally have had. And we know kids have interest in this pathway. So I had 2 questions. One, do you have any data as far as kids transferring to post-secondary and their success? Are they staying enrolled? And then the second one is support for ELL students. What kind of support do you have?
Yes, ma'am. So we've only had 1 year of students and just a small handful who were seniors who matriculated into post-secondary education. But I'm happy to share the data on those students. I think there were 5, and they did all pursue post-secondary education and were pursuing computer science degrees, one an engineering degree. I don't know that we've done a mid-year check on them, but that's something we certainly can do, and I'm happy to provide that data. So that's a huge part of what we do in terms of providing that coaching to students, is to help them understand how they can take the dual credit that they earn We Lead CS and transfer that to completion of a computer science associate degree if they want to stay close to home, or how those credits transfer to any one of the comprehensive universities in Kentucky. So we'll have a lot more of that data after this class. And then, obviously that will build on itself. On the ELL students, we do work with the districts on any accommodations that students need. We have not had that come up in this group of students. We did have some of that at iLead. We had 2 Spanish-speaking students that we worked with. So we do have a plan in place for that, but it's just not been requested. And I will also just tease a little bit to the commissioner. This is something we have talked about, and to you all, this will come. We do have some interest from both the School for the Blind and the School for the Deaf in offering this program for their students. And so that would also be something that we would be really excited about exploring with those 2 schools. And we've had conversations with them just as recently as today with the School for the Deaf. So that's another thing that we really want to try to do to expand our services beyond just traditional students.
Are there any other questions? Is there a limit to the number of districts that can participate?
Well, right now, that is purely dependent on the amount of money that the General Assembly gives us in order to be able to staff it. So, Dr. Ransdell, I don't know if you want to add. I know you've done some math on how many students you think that we would be able to accommodate in our current schedule. We have some room for growth within our current staffing complement, which is why I said I'm not sure exactly what that final number is. We're going to ask the General Assembly for in this session. But I think right now, if we had that $5 million appropriation, we should be able to serve around 750 students, which would be a huge swath of districts in the state.
That's correct.
Well, that sounds wonderful. Thank you all very much for this presentation. It really opened my eyes to things that are available to districts, and it's really exciting and lines up so completely with our hopes for all students in the state for vibrant learning. You could tell from just hearing that student talk how much it meant to him and how it was opening his whole life to opportunities beyond, just right where he lives. So that was really exciting. So thank you very much.
Well, sure. Thank you for the opportunity. We appreciate it very much.
So I believe we need a motion to adjourn.
This is Lee. I so move.
And a second.
Julie Pyle, second.
And Glipsis Ann, would you like to do the roll call for adjournment?
Chair Holly Bloodworth.
Yes.
Dr. Justin Pate.
Yes, ma'am.
Julie Pyle.
Julie Pyle, yes.
Dr. Lee Todd.
Yes.
Dr. Lou Young.
Lou Young, yes.
Harper Blake and Dr. Aaron Thompson. Voting is complete.